In this video, we're going to take a look at the graphing features you will encounter on some of the EOC test questions. First, I'll provide a general overview of all of the features, and then I'll look at a couple of specific sample questions. On the left side of the screen is your coordinate plane. The toolbox on the right side is where you can choose the appropriate tool to use for the question that you are answering. The first tool that we will take a look at are the points. When choosing a point, you can choose a point that is closed in or a point that is open. To select a point and place it on the graph, simply select it on the toolbox, move to the location on the graph that you would like to place the point, and select again. If you would like to delete only one point or only one object from your graph, you can do this by selecting the object on your graph and then coming down and pressing the trash can button at the bottom of the toolbox. If you have accidentally deleted something and would like to bring it back, there is a back button at the top of the toolbox that will bring it back to your graph. If you would like to delete everything from your graph at any point, there is a clear all button at the very bottom of the toolbox. Once again, if you accidentally clear everything and would like to bring it back, there's a back button at the top that will bring back all of your objects that you have cleared. The next set of options that we'll take a look at include lines, segments, and rays. Lines, segments, and rays can be graphed as solid or dashed, and segments and rays can include endpoints that are closed or open. All of these features graph in the same way. To show this example, we're going to use a solid line. First, choose the type of line, segment, array that you would like to plot. Once you press that, come over to your graph and plot one point on the graph in the location that you would like your line to go through. Then simply move your cursor to another location on the graph and press again. Your line, segment, or array will plot through these 2 points. If you would like to move one of the points, simply click on the point, hold down, and drag to any point that you would like it to be. Another feature from the toolbox is the text box. The text box can be placed anywhere on the coordinate plane or outside of the coordinate plane, which allows you to label axes and scales. To use the text box, simply click on the text box, click where you would like the text box to go, and type your wording. If you would like to move the text box to anywhere on the graph or outside of the graph, simply click and hold and drag it where you would like it. This graph also features a free write tool. The free write tool can only be used on the coordinate plane itself and cannot go outside of the coordinate plane. The next features at the bottom allow you to plot circles, parabolas, exponential functions, logarithmic functions, and polygons. Keep in mind that this test and toolbar are designed not only for Algebra 1, but Geometry and Algebra 2 as well. So there are features on this graph that you will not use in an Algebra 1 EOC. Because of this, I'm going to focus primarily on the parabola and the exponential function. The parabola allows you to plot your vertex of your parabola and then click and drag on one of the points that is highlighted in gray in order to make your graph wider, more narrow, or open up or down. You can move the parabola by clicking and dragging the vertex. To graph an exponential function, click the option in the toolbar and then click on your graph. You can slide this horizontal dashed line. This is the line that your exponential function can approach but never touch. You can click and drag the 2 points to plot your exponential function. Let's take a look at one of the example questions from the EOC practice test. This question asks us to graph the function f of x over the domain x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 60. Be sure to include labels and appropriate increments for the axes. Notice that the y-intercept of our function is 120. So when you are labeling and choosing increments for your axes, keep in mind that it wouldn't be wise to go up by 1 or to even go up by 2s. For this example, I chose to use increments of 10. And notice that I did not label every single line that I went up. So I labeled by 20s, but each line counts as 10. I did that for the y-axis, and I'm doing the same for the x-axis. I've started it, but let me show you how I'm going to finish. I'm going to press the text box and choose where I would like my text box to be placed. After I've typed in my numbers or my words into my text box, I can click out of it and drag it to where I need it to go. Something to pay attention to is that notice this, they want our graph to be graphed over the domain of x greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 60. Because of that, I'm not graphing an entire line. I'm actually only going to be graphing a segment, and I'm going to include the endpoints of 0 and 60 on my segment. So I will choose a segment with a solid line and close circles on either end. When my x value is 0, my y value in this case will be 120. If I were to plug 60 in for x, I would end up with a positive 30 for my y value. So when x is 60, my y value is 30. And that is how I would plot my function over the domain x greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 60. The next example we'll take a look at asks us to graph a system of equations and determine the solution. Once again, it'll be important to pay attention to the scale on these questions. As I graph my first line, y equals negative 2x plus 3, I'm going to start at positive 3 on my y-axis, which is not on a solid grid line. And then from there I can go down 2 and over 1 to plot my next point. For my second line, I will start at negative 2 on my y-axis, and my slope asks me to go up 1 and over 2, which would be here. For this graph, that's too close for the 2 points to go together to be able to plot your second point. So I'm going to go up 1 and over 2 again, which gives my graph enough space to plot those 2 points. Now, don't forget about the second part of the question that asks us to find the solution to the system, which would be this point of intersection right here at positive 2, negative 1. This concludes the tutorial on the graphing features of the Algebra 1 EOC test. I encourage you to practice these features on your own, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your teacher.